Y'all, my friend Mackenzie made a tweet that is going to with your head. It says, the talk no one will have with you, Twitch income. Last year on Twitch, I made approximately 10K. 5K of that Twitch took, 2K went to taxes. Of the 10K my community spent on me, I received 3K. Let that sink in. Woo! We about to talk about business. This tweet should not have been as groundbreaking and viral as it really was, especially in an industry of people who consider themselves to be businesses. Yikes. So what we need to do is we need to talk about the financial realities of being a Twitch streamer, because this is very important if you want to have a solid streaming business. Side note, make sure that you go and follow Third Artifact. She is the only person on Twitter who consistently reaches out to me and asks if I'm doing okay. Be her friend. So let's break this down piece by piece. The first thing that it says is that she made approximately 10K, 5K of that Twitch took. So yes, Twitch does take 50% of your sub revenue. A lot of you should already know this. You actually are only making $2.50 off of a sub versus the actual $5 that the person who subscribes is charged. Twitch is also getting a decent cut from their platform-specific revenue called bits, which you can contribute to a streamer when you cheer, and of course they make a massive amount of money on advertisements. So already out the gate, Twitch is taking a massive cut of your business. Imagine a company goes on Shark Tank and literally sells off half of their company. That is typically a bad deal. So you keep the 5,000, that's already half of what your channel has technically made. But then the next problem is that you have to pay taxes on the half that you are allowed to keep. So tax law is different for different locations. If you live in a country that doesn't do tax or has really high taxes, that's gonna look totally different from those of you who are living in the United States. Since most of you are in the United States, though, let's just say that normal tax advice is that you wanna save 30% of the income that you bring in for your taxes. The reason for this is because tax as a sole proprietor is completely different from 9 to 5 taxes. Typically, you'll get a return on your taxes whenever you're working a 9 to 5 for overpaying throughout the year. But whenever you are a sole proprietor or you're running your own small business, you're not having to consistently pay in to the government like you are in a 9 to 5. And so you're actually typically going to owe the government a lot of money, which can be really difficult when you're slapped with like $8,000 in taxes and you haven't saved it all for that. Something that this tweet doesn't talk about is your business costs. So these are costs to maintain your live stream. These are things like your internet service, your graphic design, either hiring a designer or going to somebody else's website and grabbing designs. You have expenses that you have to pay in order to maintain your stream. This is going to be a massively ballparked figure here, but all of this together typically means that you are keeping 15 to 20% of what your Twitch stream actually makes. 15 to 20% of the money that you bring in is going to you. Meanwhile, Twitch is paying the best CPAs and CFAs, which are tax advisors and preparers, financial planners, in order to get the biggest tax breaks possible, meaning they pay very, very little on the $5,000 that they're making off of you while you're paying a ton into taxes and maintenance. How much does that freaking suck? Now, this is not a time for us to get into like tax law and whether or not billionaires should exist and whether or not companies should be able to make this much money. However, 50% Twitch, 50% of our companies? No. Now this is a problem because of something called profit margin. Profit margin is the percentage of your business that you are able to keep for yourself, whether that's you want to use it to go on a cruise or you want to use it to invest back into your company to continue to grow it. Your profit margin on Twitch is so incredibly low compared to other businesses who are normally aiming for something like 50 or 60%. Now keep in mind, this very ballparked figure is not including things things like saving, investing, having health insurance, saving for your kids' education. Like, how many things are you sacrificing in order to be a full-time streamer? Are you sacrificing your health? The reason that I asked that question is because the three biggest values that humans have across the board anytime that there are any studies done on this are health, relationships, and guess what? Money. We value money because we know the places that it can put us. We know the way that it can improve our lives, and we know that even if we just don't have to worry about whether or not our kids can go to school and we can continue to feed them, that is a great reason to want to accumulate more money for yourself. There are some people in the Twitch industry who say these things like, I don't do this for the money, or anyone who does this for the money is wrong. But how are you going to tell people who have 15% profit that they shouldn't worry about being able to pay their bills? Don't do it for the money is great if you are still living with your parents or if you're in a dorm in college, but it's not a realistic way to live your life and operate your streaming business for perpetuity, forever. And the other problem is, so many small streamers are spending hours on content, whether that's YouTube and streaming and their social media, and yet almost the entire time they're worrying about being able to pay their bills. And that sucks. It's so hard to put on a great show for an audience if you're constantly thinking about whether or not you are going to be able to keep the electric on. All these small streamers that are dropping out and going back to their jobs, they're not just doing it because they didn't get thousands of viewers. A lot of them are perfectly happy having 15 viewers. They feel comfortable with that and they enjoy the experience. What they don't realize oftentimes is that they're not making enough money to be able to sustain their business, to increase their profit margins, and to feel like the time that they're investing in their stream is actually worth the time that they're putting into it. That sentence didn't make sense, but you get where I'm going. We're not in the business of just whining about problems here. Problems have solutions, and that's what this channel is all about. We're gonna give you a solution for this. I have tried pretty much every monetization option out there in my 7 years on Twitch. I've tried merch. I did Game Wisp back before the affiliate program was even a thing. I had subscribers. I did Patreon. I've done coaching. I've done courses and ebooks, digital products. I've tried affiliates and sponsorships. I've tried literally everything, y'all. The absolute best way that you can increase your profit margins, make more money, and spend more time doing what you love, which is creating content and mostly streaming, is by creating a digital product. That is the perfect solution for this problem. Joe Rogan might not want you to play more video games, but I do. I know how much you love them, and I know how much you love spending time just creating content for people. Imagine if you didn't have to worry about your finances at all, and you are in a position where you could just worry about connecting with people and creating better content for them and spending your time with them without having to think about all of the nastiness that poverty makes you think about. I definitely question whether or not I should say poverty there, but I think that that's probably the most fitting way to communicate this. I've thought for a long time about what monetization option out there I think is best for streamers. I've thrown around all of the options that are available to you now, all of the ones that you don't know are available to you. I've done so many of them. I talk a little bit more about the way that I started to monetize and look into business in my ebook. If you haven't gotten that yet, there's a link for it down below. But essentially what you need to know is that a digital product is so great for you because you create it once and you sell it forever without having to do any maintenance, without having to change anything, without having to take time away from your freaking video games. Digital products come in a lot of different forms. This could mean an ebook, it can mean a course. Those are the two that I really think are best, but I also know that it is really difficult to imagine being someone who creates an ebook or creates a course without kind of knowing what comes after that and what that entire process looks like. So there are a couple of things that you need to know if this is the direction that you want to go, that you have to have figured out in order to have a really successful digital product. The first thing that you need is a really solid launch strategy. A launch strategy is a series of actions that you take around the release of your digital product to the public. These are things like email sequences, advertisements on social media posts, or one of my favorites, live streaming the actual launch. What these things do is it helps hype up that launch, and it gets you a lot more momentum, it gets you a lot more attention, you make more sales, and you become known as someone who has a successful product, and people look to you with a little bit more authority because you are able to create a thing that's helpful to other people. Now we can talk about all of that stuff on this channel if y'all want. Just type like launch down below in the comments or something. The second thing that you need to have in order to build a digital product is a really solid maintenance strategy, because remember, we want to free up most of your time so that you can still focus on creating content and doing the stuff that you love doing, just probably live streaming and playing video games with your friends. And so what we need to have is we need an automation process in place that will deliver our product to our customers, continue to sell our product for us without us even having to get involved, and then also follow up for any client testimonials or any feedback on the actual product. You can automate all of this super easily if you just have email sequences set up and you use the right platforms in order to do this. Once you have all of this automated, that makes it so that you never have to worry about it again, and you can just keep doing your thing and you keep making money completely passively. That's why I love this so much, is my ebooks out there just making money constantly, y'all. I don't have to meet one-on-one with anybody or take a ton of meetings or make sure that I'm like constantly in contact with tons of people in order to make this consistent income like I would have to do with something that is a little bit more of an active income. And what's great about this too is that creating an ebook or a course is really available for anyone. It doesn't matter if you have an entertainment brand or an educational brand, whatever it is that you're trying to do for people, you can find a way to create a digital product out of that's going to help them have a deeper relationship with you. Think about it like this. People are probably gonna want to tip you $25 during your stream anyways. Why not let them get something else in exchange for that $25 that's gonna help them with something in their life? Because here's the thing, right? You can have anything that you want in life, but you have to help a lot of people get what they want first. And people want a lot of things. They want laughter, they want to forget about what's going on in the world for a few moments, they want financial advice, they want to figure out what car they're gonna get next, like they want to figure out how to beat a level in their favorite game. There are so many different subjects that you can create these products over. It's really available for every single one of you. Yes, you who's watching this right now thinking that this is unavailable to you, it's not. You have everything that you need inside of yourself right now in order to make something that is going to help you make 5 figures a month. I promise you. It sounds like bullshit, but it's not. I'm gonna keep sharing more about streamer business on this channel, so make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, and go and watch this video because I actually take you through the whole process that I used to launch my ebook, which has made over $35,000 in the last year. So go check that out. I love y'all so much. I'll see you over there. Bye!